Yo, what is good, YouTube? Welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we're going to be ranking every single one of the brand new Regal and GOAT LeBron cards from worst to best here in NBA 2K24 MyTEAM. I will say this is probably the best drop that we've gotten all year in terms of the gambling content. From top to bottom, every card is at least usable in some capacity. At the same time, there are definitely some that are a lot better than others. So I'm just going to give my thoughts on where I would rank each of these cards today. Before we hop into the video, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help me push towards the 30,000 subscriber mark on the channel. I upload every single day. Tons of consistent daily MyTEAM content. Would really appreciate it if y'all do subscribe. And without further ado, let's hop right into it. So, first card, worst card from this drop is the free LeBron, unfortunately. I don't think this card is horrible. He's fast, but he also has LeBron's own SIGs, which I don't think are great. LeBron's release on very quick, which a lot of these BRON cards have, to be fair, but he doesn't have the badge completeness of a lot of the other cards from today's drop. Just only 20 base Hall of Fame badges and not a lot of key, he's got some decent defensive badges, but no half speed booster at all. Only blinders and Deadeye in terms of shooting badges. He's a great dunker, and he's still going to play like BRON. He's just not going to be the best version of BRON. And again, today's drop is really deep and really good. So the next card on this list is also another BRON, and it's this one, who, again, statistically extraordinary, but animation-wise not. Doesn't really have the SIGs, doesn't really have... just as a whole, I don't think he's quite elite enough. I say that he's not horribly awful. I think you could make an argument for him a couple spots or higher. I don't think either of these cards are terrible, but I don't think they're unbelievably great options by any means either. I think... meh, honestly. And I think, to be fair, these two lower overall BRONs, which are still not awful at all and still play a lot like BRON, are very close to a couple of these lower overall Galaxy Opals as well. So I think you could definitely go either way. But I'd go Darius Miles next, 6'9" with a 7 foot wingspan. The thing about him compared to those BRONs is he's more complete as a whole than both of them, even the second LeBron, I feel like. And while his stats and badges might not be quite as good, that Jared Allen base, it's not amazing, but I don't think it's bad. And he's got real good SIGs. Kemba escape, Steph's drag back, pro behind the back, could very easily be Jamal Murray behind the back. I will be completely honest, I think it is. I have not used this Darius Miles card yet to confirm that for sure, but I think it is, and if so, then yes, I would put him over BRON because he's just got better shot creation ability as a whole, and I still think his overall completeness is very, very good. Duncan Robinson is next. He's an elite level shooter, and he's actually a pretty solid slasher, 95 driving dunk. I mean, he's really good across the board. The defensive badges could be a little better. Be nice to have off handles for days. 90 speed isn't unbelievable for a shooting guard by any means. His release is really good, and he's got pretty good SIGs as well, but again, like I said, deepest drop of the year. Feels like some of these guys got to go lower, and so one of them is going to be Duncan Robinson. Now, next is Dark Matter Ray Allen. I would almost argue Dark Matter Ray Allen below a couple of the cards we've already talked about. I thought this card was going to be really good. With his jump shot change to the Kyle Korver base, I was pretty sure, oh yeah, he's going to be really elite now. His upper just isn't good, and it kills the card. His release itself is not terrible, but his fade is pretty darn bad because of how slow his upper is. I think as a whole, I don't know. I think this Ray Allen, while he's got perfect SIGs, he's only 6'5", so he's kind of small, and I just don't think he's overall elite at all. Not a bad card, but definitely not an elite level option whatsoever. So for me, I feel like Ray is just... I mean, stats and badges are awesome, but he's small and his release isn't great. That's just not going to get the job done. That's going to hold you back. Cam Reddish is next. The reason I got Cam Reddish a bit higher is because how good his defense is on the wing, and he's also got the shooting badges, Agent 3, catch corner, Deadeye, limitless, blow by speed booster, a posterizer, precision dunker. He is really, really good. Smooth release, solid SIGs, normal fade, does a lot of things really well, and defensively absolutely elite as well at the shooting guard position, which is a big part of his value, is that he's got the big player ability. He's an elite defender. He's got a ton of versatility. I feel like he is overall a little bit better than that Duncan Robinson card, and I would put him a couple spots higher because of it. Feels like that's a fair slot for him. Now, after this Cam Reddish, we get to the really, really top tier cards. I mean, it becomes at this point, we've already ranked all of the opals and below. It's all Dark Matter and up from now. And I think next is the LeBrons, specifically the non-point guard eligible LeBrons, because point guard LeBron has a size value that the other LeBrons don't quite have at their positions at this point. Obviously, the small forward, power forward, and small forward center LeBrons are not going to be unbelievable. They're just 6'9" small forwards. The thing about this card, I mean, yes, the SIGs are basically perfect. This card is animation-wise, the 100 overall. You know what I mean? It plays the exact same as 100 overall pretty much. And badge-wise, pretty darn close as well, but only gold handles for days instead of Hoff is an issue. His release could be better. I've never liked running offense through LeBron this year. I know his SIGs are great. I know his fade is good, Pro 2, but I don't love his upper. And I just never felt super confident running offense through him as the year has progressed. I feel like there's a lot of better shot creators. And honestly, like, I don't dislike Bron, but shooting guard Bron, small forward Bron, power forward Bron, center Bron, like all these Brons, wherever that you put them, I think this is pretty fair, to be honest. Like, I don't think he gives you the value unless you have point guard Bron. And honestly, that even includes 100 overall Bron, because here's the truth. This LeBron, the 100 overall, and this LeBron, the regular small forward, power forward, these are not significant differences, man. Plus 10 free throw, plus 9 standing dunk. Those are the two biggest stat differences. Do we really care? Plus 1, plus 2, plus 4 across the board for the most part. I mean, key badge-wise, it's literally handles for days is the only super important badge that's the difference. Like, I almost think you could put 100 overall Bron with, in fact, I'm putting 100 overall Bron with these other LeBrons. As good as LeBron is, his release is not extraordinary, and it does hold back his shot creation ability a little bit. And when you consider the best of the best, and that is what every card left on this list pretty much is, I think that's fair. Next, you got Jimmy. Jimmy he's point guard, which is valuable. I mean, the size of point guard. He's still a couple inches shorter than the other LeBrons, but the thing is, as a 100 overall with perfect stats, perfect badges, and the off handles for days, I'd give him the edge. The only Bron you would argue over him maybe is the 100 overall, but the thing is that 100 overall is small forward, power forward. I'd rather have Jimmy even at 2 inches shorter at the point guard position, in my personal opinion. So I think that I would, again, put Jimmy over most of the LeBrons, all of them except for the point guard one and the GOAT, basically. And I think I was pretty pleasantly surprised when I did gameplay with this card. I don't think when I'm dropping this video, y'all will have seen that gameplay yet. It's probably dropping tomorrow, but I already recorded gameplay with Jimmy, and I was pretty pleasantly surprised by how well he played. Felt like he was a very, very solid card. Anthony Davis to be next, 6'10" with a 7'2" wingspan. I mean, 100 overall with off handles for days, the power forward position, and God tier SIGs. Like, this card is really good. Pro 2 fade. His release could be a little better, probably, but so could Jimmy's. So could Bron's. So could Ray Allen's. So could a bunch of the cards we already talked about in this list. So it's not a bad release. It's smooth and easy to green. It's not slow, and everything else is basically perfect with a 6'10" power forward and a lot of versatility. He is an elite level card. Obviously not game changing or game breaking at any point, but he definitely is one of the best power forwards in the game. Just like a guy, I mean, he's basically like the viable gambling version of a Moses Malone that came out this last week as the unlimited ring reward is probably what I would describe this card as, to be honest, as AD. Now, top 3 cards in this drop today. Number 3 is Cade Cunningham. This Cade Cunningham card is 6'7" with a 7'1" wingspan. How good his release is. He is one of the few cards I feel like of these top tier guys whose release is just absolutely awesome. Really smooth, easy release. Great size, great player build that makes him look taller than 6'7". I mean, he looks closer to 6'8", 6'9". That wingspan is nice as well. He's got all the key badges outside of, I guess, Hoff and Movable Enforcer, but gold is just fine. And his release is money, Pro 2 fade. Really nice upper, makes that fade super easy as well. And again, top tier SIGs, which most every card on this list has. But I think Cade is amazing, and I legitimately would take him over all of these Brons. By the way, I forgot. Before Cade, after Anthony Davis, is point guard Bron. Forgot to slot him in there. That's where point guard Bron would slot in. I give him a couple of spots higher over 100 overall Jimmy, 100 overall Anthony Davis, just because of the point guard eligibility. Because I think at 6'9" at point guard, there's still enough of a lack of height at point guard with the majority of cards that are being used, that if you do have this card at the point guard position, number 1, you get a little bit of an advantage over a lot of teams. And number 2, makes it easier to counter some of the glitchier, more annoying lineups that you're going to play in my team if you have that type of size at the point guard position. And while he still plays exactly the same as his other cards, I think the positional value is nice. You could probably argue the shooting guard version as well, but I feel like there's more tall shooting guards than there are tall point guards, and the point guard position is just not quite as deep, so that's why I put LeBron PG a few spots higher than the rest of his cards. Then we got Cade after Bron. I think Cade's better than Bron. I know he's 2 inches shorter. His release is better. He moves just as good, if not better, and I think as a whole he plays better. His release is significantly better for sure. So definitely would give him the edge. Number 2, Zydrunas Ilgauskas. Elite card. 7'3" with a 7'6" wingspan. Jamal Murray behind the back. 97 speed with a coach in the shoe. This card is amazing. He is so good. Does everything well. And if you add handles for days, he can shot create at a high level as well. Kemba escape, Jamal Murray behind the back at 7'3" with a money release is just absolutely exceptional. He is one of the best cards in the game, period. And I think he is really good. By the way, I am realizing I forgot one other guy And he probably slots in right with the conglomerate of LeBron cards that I have, right above Cam Reddish, right around there. Whether he's above or below those bronze, you could kind of argue. But I did forget to shout him out, and that is Lamar Odom. I would put Odom right in that small forward shooting guard LeBron category with all the dark matter bronze. And I mean, his value is that he's 6'10", tall and versatile. Lamar is a really solid card with his size. He's got, again, really solid SIGs, and again, I mean, 6'10" is just something you can't really teach. It's valuable on the interior, both offensively and defensively. His release is smooth enough and easy enough to green, even if it's not the very fastest release in the game, and I think he deserves to be in that tier. So, number 2, again, was Big Z, like I said, and then number 1, obviously, is still GOAT LeBron. 6'9", 7-foot wingspan at the point guard position, but with the changed release. Terrence Mann base with his up run very quick. He is the same card as his other point guard, just with a much better base, and I guess 99 stats literally across the board in every single Hall of Fame badge, instead of pretty close to 99 stats, and nearly every Hoff, he's just got all of them now, which is nice, and it's a slight little upgrade, although I don't think it's a massive, massive deal. I don't know. The fact that he's got the Hoff handles for days now at the point guard position is nice. The changed jump shot is a big deal. That's the biggest deal by far of this card, the reason that he's at number 1. But I gotta say, like I said, I had a tough time ranking this list this week, and I think you could definitely disagree with a lot of my rankings, and I wouldn't argue with you. So, going from top to bottom, number 1, GOAT Bron. Number 2, Big Z. Number 3, Cade Cunningham. Number 4, point guard Bron. Number 5, Anthony Davis. Number 6, Jimmy Butler. Number 7, Lamar Odom. Number 8, all the Brons. Number 9, Cam Reddish. Number 10, Ray Allen. Number 11, Duncan Robinson. Number 12, Darius Miles. And number 13, the other Opal Bronze. I think that is a pretty fair list, and I'd be interested to hear y'all's thoughts in the comment section down below on what y'all think of my ranking. If you did enjoy the video, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon, and I appreciate y'all. Peace.